Hello again, Honky Tonks. It's me, Paz49. Welcome to my channel, especially those who've recently subscribed. So, welcome aboard. You're amongst friends. So, make yourselves at home now. I'm here to dissect the latest display of political foot-in-mouth disease. And what a specimen we have today. Lucy Powell, ladies and gents, Labour MP for Manchester Central. A woman who's climbed the greasy pole of politics faster than you can say careerist or Angela Rayner. But I'm not here to bore you with her CV, though it's a riveting tale of Quangos, Ed Miliband's coattails, and an arc of failing upwards. No, I'm here to talk about her latest masterpiece, dismissing the grooming gang scandal as dog whistle. Yep, you heard that right, dog whistle. So let's set the scene. Lucy's on BBC Radio 4's Any Questions, probably getting smug as a cat with a cream budget. Political commentator Tim Montgomery, hardly a fire-breathing radical himself, brings up a Channel 4 documentary about grooming gangs, the one exposing the industrial-scale abuse of young girls, mostly white, working class, and vulnerable by predominantly Pakistani men, while authorities twiddle their thumbs. Serious stuff, right? Well, there we go. Lives ruined, families shattered, communities betrayed. So what does our esteemed leader of the House do? Yeah, she nods solemnly, pledged justice, or at least pretend to care. Nah, she cuts him off with a sneer. Oh, we want to blow that little trumpet now, do we? She says. Yeah, okay. Let's get that dog whistle out. Dog whistle. Let that sink in. Now, if you're wondering what she meant, let me translate from politician to English. Calling something a dog whistle is code for you're stirring up trouble, probably with a side of racism, so shut up. It's the kind of smug, dismissive tripe you'd expect from someone who spent too long in Westminster's echo chamber, where real-world suffering is just a pesky footnote to their grand narrative. But here's the kicker. This isn't some abstract policy debate. This is about thousands of girls, some as young as 11, raped, you know what I'm talking about, trafficked and tortured over decades, often in towns like Oldham, right in Lucy's greater Manchester backyard. And she thinks it's a little trumpet. Tell that to the victims, Lucy. Tell that to the parents who'll never see their daughters smile again. Now, you'd think a Labour MP, especially one representing Manchester Central, where this scandal festered, might have a shred of humility, maybe a flicker of empathy for the girls let down by Labour-run councils that looked the other way to avoid cultural sensitivities. But no, Lucy's too busy playing the enlightened progressive, accusing others of political point scoring while she trivialises one of the worst betrayals in modern history. And when the backlash hit, because, surprise, people don't take kindly to child abuse being mocked, she didn't even have the spine to own it. Instead, we got a Weasley apology on X. I'm sorry if I was unclear, she whined, claiming she was just challenging the political point scoring, not the issue itself. Oh, please. If you believe that, I've got a bridge in Manchester to sell you. Let's be clear, this isn't one-off gaff. This is who Lucy Powell is, a loyal foot soldier of the Labour machine, happy to parrot whatever line keeps her in the shadow cabinet or now in Keir Starmer's inner circle. She's the same woman who backed Ed Miliband's disastrous 2015 campaign, flubbed it by joking about breaking election pledges carved in stone, literally, and then jumped ship from Jeremy Corbyn's shadow cabinet when the wind changed. Principles? Nah, Lucy's got ambition, and it's carried her all the way to leader of the House, where she's supposed to champion democracy and accountability. Irony's dead, folks. But let's talk about that dog whistle nonsense. See, Lucy's not stupid. She knows exactly what she's doing. By slapping the label on a legitimate issue, she's trying to shut down debate without engaging with it. It's the oldest trick in the progressive playbook. If you can't win an argument, just call it racist and hope everyone scurries away. Problem is, the grooming gang scandal isn't a conspiracy theory or a far-right fever dream. It's real. It's documented. It's been investigated in places like Rotherham, Rochdale and Oldham. And the victims, well, they're not dog whistles, they're human beings, little girls, betrayed by a system that prioritised political correctness over their safety. Yet Lucy, with her lofty perch and her Manchester City season tickets, seems to think it's all a bit of bother, a distraction from her busy schedule of modernising Parliament and tweeting about leasehold reform. And don't get me started on Labour and Starmer's broader role here. For years, their councils and police forces ignored these crimes, terrified of being called Islamophobic. Reports were buried, whistleblowers silenced, and girls left to suffer. Now Keir Starmer's government is dodging a full national inquiry, opting for a half-baked audit instead. Why? Because facing the truth might upset their voter base, or, God forbid, force them to admit fault. Lucy's dog whistle quip isn't just a personal failure, it's a window into Labour's whole rotten approach. Protect the narrative, not the vulnerable. Now here's the rub. Lucy, you don't get to dismiss child rape as a little trumpet and then hide behind a non-apology. You don't get to represent Manchester Central, where victims are still crying out for justice, and act like this is someone else's problem. And you sure as hell don't get to lecture us about political point scoring when your party spent decades dodging accountability for this mess. The public's not stupid. They see through your waffle. That's why X lit up with calls for you to resign. Hashtag resign Lucy Powell is trending for a reason. People are sick of politicians like you who think it's a quick sorry on social media fixes everything. So what's the solution? Well, for starters, Lucy could try listening to the victims instead of sneering at those who raise their plight. She could push for that national inquiry her boss keeps swerving, or if she's got an ounce of decency, she could step down and let someone with a moral compass take her place. But I'm not holding my breath. Lucy's a survivor. She'll cling to her title like a limpet to a rock, and Starmer's already got her back, surprise, surprise, because that's how the game works. Look, I don't care if you're Labour, Tory or Reform. This isn't about politics, it's about basic human decency. Those girls deserved better then, and they deserve better now. If you can't see that, Lucy Powell, you're not just unfit for the House of Commons, you're unfit for any position that requires a shred of integrity. So take your dog whistle and shove it. The real whistle's been blown, and it's on you. So there we go. That's what MPs like Lucy Powell, Starmer, by dodging this grooming inquiry, and the rest of them think of the victims here. And it's bloody disgusting. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments. And that's that. I'm Paz49. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you at the next one. Roger Trout.